Hello, fellow Aliens fans. This is Solid Dave Snake, bringing you another Throwback Thursday action figure comparison video. And today we are going to be taking a look at the newly released Neca Alien Series 3 Dog Alien compared to his counterpart all the way back from 2003 Mcfarlane Toys Movie Maniacs Series 6 line. The dog alien from that wave, which was a Movie Maniacs series based on the Alien and Predator films. We got the City Hunter Predator and the Alien Warrior from Alien Resurrection, and also a deluxe box Queen, which I will be doing an action figure comparison on with the new Neca Alien Queen. But I thought this was a good opportunity to show off the similarities of these two and just give you an overall look at this old dog alien. I will actually be doing a review tomorrow on the new Neca dog alien. But we will compare the two and see the similarities and differences, and then take a closer look at this old Mcfarlane one. But right off the bat, you can tell that they do have the same type of body style overall. They did keep a lot of the same designs of the two, especially with the overall shape of the figure, which has that kind of dog-like stance to it. But there are a lot of little differences, and not just the sculpt quality from over the years, but the basic design. This Neca dog alien is pretty much based off of the ones straight out of the movie, and this Mcfarlane one seems to be based on the original concept art of H.R. Giger for the movie, because there are probably the most differences between the two in the way that the shape of the head is. We'll get in close and get a focus, but you can see that the old Mcfarlane head is not as long, and the way that it connects to the neck is a lot closer to the front of the jaw than on this Neca one. And another big difference that you can tell just right off the bat is that the way the dome is. The old Mcfarlane one is kind of just a clear type of yellowish brown, where this Neca one, you can actually see through it. It's transparent, and you can see the ridges underneath the actual outer dome. And even on the back of the heads, on the old Mcfarlane one, you can see it's kind of comes down a little further back here than on the Neca one. And the detail on the head itself below the dome has a lot of detail on this Mcfarlane one, where this one just doesn't seem to have as much sculpted up in there on the Neca one. He's pretty dark to see underneath there, but you can tell just the neck itself was done a lot thicker on this Mcfarlane one. And the actual body itself, the shoulders are a lot similar. The newer Neca one having kind of a more tubular look right here on the actual shoulder, and this being a little more rigid on the Mcfarlane one. And then the ribs are a lot more defined on this Neca one than the actual Mcfarlane one. Give you a good underneath look of the Mcfarlane one compared to the Neca one. You can see how they added a lot more ribs on this one. And while we're down here, give you a good look at the bottoms of the hands. They look a lot different, with the Mcfarlane kind of having those ridges going all the way throughout. And I always thought it was neat with the dog alien design. They do not have the tubes on the back like the actual Alien Warriors in the Aliens movie, in the original Alien. And the back of the hips On the Mcfarlane one, they're kind of built onto the body, where with the Neca one, they are actually built into the legs. So that's a big difference as well. And the tails, they actually resemble each other a lot. I think it's a little bigger on the Neca one, but the actual shape and design are pretty similar, especially on the end of the tail. Has that big blade on it. And the Neca one does actually have more segments running down throughout. So I will be doing a more detailed review of this dog alien just on him tomorrow. And of course, it being a newer Neca figure, the articulation does blow away the Mcfarlane one. But this Mcfarlane one back in the day wasn't too bad for 2003. So we'll just go over all of it. And he had a neat gimmick at the head, but mine is broken. It was a function where you could push the jaw in. And like I said, mine's broke, so it won't set anymore. But it would set in there. And you would push this, and it would fire it out. So that was actually a pretty neat function for an action figure from this time period. Of course, I like the Neca one, how you can just take it in and out, though. But articulation-wise, he does have some neat articulation at the head. He's got a ball joint and a hinge, so you can swivel it and lower it that far down and that far up and kind of get a little bit of a cocked view whenever it's down here. And from the shoulders, he has a ball joint and a hinge, which will go that far up and rotate all the way around. And same thing on this side. So you can get some good movement out of the shoulders, but there is no hinge here at the elbow. All he has below that shoulder is a swivel at the wrist. On both wrists. And on the waist, he actually has a ball joint, which you can rotate all the way around and get a little forward and back movement. And on the hips, he has a ball joint and hinge as well, which you can get him in kind of this spread-like pose and rotate it up and down. But once again, he has no cut or hinge at the knee. So below that hip, all he has is a hinge down here at the foot on both of them. So you are kind of limited in the way you can pose them, having no hinges at the elbows or knees. And he does have a cut on the tail, but the entire tail is on a bendy wire, just like the Neca one. So you can get a lot of good posability out of it. So the Neca dog alien is the far superior dog alien, but I really liked this one for years. It was the best one done. And still looks great. Still looks really good. Kind of has its own flair compared to this Neca one, because this Neca one is based straight off of the movie. So, and the Neca one's joints are really loose. That's something I will talk about in tomorrow's video. But overall, I would have to say the Neca one is superior. But I really do love this old Mcfarlane dog alien. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for all my reviews from Neca Alien Series 3. Later.